Happy God of War week, boy. What up, viewers? What up? What up? Calc Soups here, and today is Friday, November 11th, and that means it's time for a quick recap of the week in video game news. Like I said, it is God of War week. We already talked about the Metacritic because were released last week, but now all there kind of is to talk about. I mean, I haven't played the game yet, so hopefully you're playing it, and I know a lot of my friends will be playing it this weekend if they haven't started already. But there were some tips and tricks and helpful things. A lot of people always put out beginner guides whenever a new game comes out, and I'll have a link down below where you can check out some of those things about checking the lost and found. I think apparently there's a lost and found, and skill points don't really matter, but like leveling up your gear does. So lots of couple hints and tips and tricks that you can use if you're picking up God of War this week to play it. And I'm very excited about it. I've been trying to find time all week to play it, but I have yet to do so. So I plan on putting a lot of time in this week. Moving right along, Nintendo had another indie World Showcase, or I always call them Nindies. I don't know why they don't call them Nindies anymore. But this one had a very global focus. Actually, a lot of the people that they were showing off were, not American or not even like Western Hemisphere kind of development teams. Really cool. A lot of European and Middle Eastern. I was really excited to see that. There was a lot of games showed, over over 24 games showed. The ones that I have about a handful that caught my eye that I wanted to talk about. But if you feel like there was something I didn't talk about, you can leave a comment below. The first one of the show and the first one that caught my eye was Venba. It's like a family cooking simulator kind of game. It actually looked really cool. It's not like Overcooked. It's more like narrative driven, but you're trying to there's like puzzles. You have to make this recipe that's like culturally relevant. I thought that was really cool. I enjoy cooking. I enjoy cooking in both video games as well as in real life. So always fun to see like a really cool cooking simulator. I like the art style of it, and I like kind of getting introduced to cuisines that I'm not quite used to. All that kind of added up to a cool game called Venba that comes out in spring of next year. So look forward to that. Have a Nice Death is a death where you play as Death, in a robe and the scythe and full face and all that kind of stuff. And it's a roguelite, and it looked like a platformer, so you're going to be running around with Death, and you're going to be leveling up your scythe and wielding that to devastating effect. It was one of the many Gearbox games that were being shown at the Indie Showcase, which was kind of cool to see there. And that comes out March 22nd. Little indie game that I didn't know that I wanted, so looking forward to that. There was one that we had seen before, Desta, or at least we've probably seen a couple of these before, but this one I distinctly remember because of kind of the tiles that we had seen before and the kind of art style. So Desta is apparently a turn-based dodgeball game where you get set up on these tiles, and then you have to use the environment to benefit while playing dodgeball. With all with a deeper narrative, and I don't know if Desta was a reference to you're the god of sleep or something like that. And there's metaphysics involved. So it was really meta, but I thought it looked really cool, and I remembered it from another game that I'm interested in and looking forward to. Also comes out early 23. There was one that just kind of caught my eye called Botany Manor. You play a botanist and you're running around a manor. It's kind of self-explanatory, but you're trying to solve these puzzles and make these plants kind of grow for you. I don't have a particularly green thumb, but I know a lot of my friends who do, and I think this might actually scratch an itch that they're looking for. You don't see a lot of botany stuff, except for maybe the flower mini game in Animal Crossing New Horizons. That's about as close as I ever got to botany. So I thought it looked like a pretty cool, and I like the semi-realistic art style. Maybe one tier below photoreal. So kind of liked I liked the kind of look of that. And last but not least of all the titles that were there, I definitely had seen this one before called Blanc. It is a co-op black and white animal game where I think one player plays as a fox or a wolf, and one player plays as like a doe. And apparently it's co-op, and the black and white art style is really intriguing to me. So it's another game that I'm looking forward to coming out of the Nindy showcase. I was actually surprised on whole that there was something there. I think the last time there was an indie showcase, I was pretty down on it, especially since I had just gotten my Steam Deck and I was playing a lot of indie games on my Steam Deck that I didn't think I could get excited to play games on my Switch again. But yeah, there was a bunch of them that caught my eye. There was actually more, but I wanted to limit it to the top 5 that I was looking forward to. Those are it. Blanc comes out February 14th. So if you're looking for something small and bite-sized to play with someone close to you, you can play that. You can play Blanc in February, so as well. Going way back, I think this was actually announced last week, but didn't really hit my radar until middle of this week. Was Overwatch 2 announced their next character. Ramatra is an Omnic robot character who is supposed to be a tank, but he carries like a really big gun. So I know that Overwatch kind of likes to play with the traditional roles of the big shield. We don't. I think we know a little bit about what his skills will be and how he'll like block projectiles with his shield. But yeah, I just kind of like the look of him. Kind of got that skull face they got going with all the Omnics. And now that I'm a little bit more involved in Overwatch 2, I know a little bit about it. His backstory seemed like really dark. Like he was on a path to peace, and then now it's all nothing but war, and that he doesn't like humans. So I don't know what the meta narrative is for Overwatch 2, but like, man, this was dark and war torn, and I'm really curious what's going on with that. But yeah, looking forward to that. I don't currently play a lot of tank Overwatch 2, but you know, if I try, it would be kind of cool to see what it does. So looking forward to that. Moving right along for other games that launched this week, Sonic Frontier launched, and I don't know if this was like highly anticipated or highly not. A lot of people not looking forward to it. So 3D Sonic games have been kind of hit or miss in the past. So you know, take that as you will. It is another 3D Sonic game. I know that I think it's got like a cult following that are really excited about it, at least on social media. But the Metacritic in on it is at a 72, which you know isn't that good. But I know, I mean, 3D Sonic fans are gonna love it regardless. So not something that's gonna pull me into the Sonic games. I'm more of a 2D Sonic fan myself. Actually, the most Sonic I've probably ever played, playing him in Super Smash Bros. So take that as you will. But yeah, if you're interested in Sonic Frontier, let me know what you think of it down below. Moving right along, Remedy has started to open up a little bit more about some of the several projects. I remember Remedy talking about the developers of Alan Wake and Control. They announced, I think like a year ago, that they have like six or seven irons in the fire, and they announced this week that one of those games that they're working on, besides Alan Wake 2, which we all know about, is Control 2. So we're gonna get more information about Jessie and what she's doing with the Bureau of Control. We played through that as one of our Friend Zone games a couple months ago. So yeah, very much looking forward to Control 2. I really enjoyed it. I didn't play the DLC, and I wish I did. So I might go back and do that before Control 2 comes out. But yeah, I really liked Control. Yeah, it was an awesome world, and running around and getting those abilities and exploring the Federal Bureau was really fun. So looking forward to potentially more Control in the future. Although they definitely mentioned in the article and in the conversation that they have quite a ways to go. So you know, I'm not expecting this next year or anything. Moving right along, Ubisoft is doing something pretty curious. They are canceling pre-orders for the Sands of Time Persia remake. So they're just canceling the pre-orders. They say they are still working on the game and that still fully intend to make the game, which seems like mixed messaging to me. I don't know why you would orders without canceling the game itself. But or maybe it's gonna be now that I'm thinking about it, maybe it's like gonna be tacked on to something else and they're gonna give it away for free, so they don't want to give everybody their money back or they pre-order too much. Or it's gonna be free to play somehow. So maybe that's it. That's or they're gonna cancel it, but they just haven't made the decision yet, but they made the decision to cancel the pre-orders. Yeah, just a little confusing, but any of you who are looking forward to playing the Sands of Time remake, you're gonna have to. You can't pre-order it, so I guess when it comes out. I never played too much of the original Prince of Persia games, so I was kind of excited for these remakes. And it's usually one of the things that I defend about remakes in general is that there's a bunch of games out there that I didn't play. I was either too young, or they just weren't on my radar, or I didn't own a PlayStation. And now now I have the ability to get into those games. I kind of appreciate some of these remakes that are out of some classics, but I can't pre-order Sands of Time, so there's that. Which also means that maybe they're not making a physical edition or a collector's edition. As someone who got 2 collector's editions in the last 2 weeks, one of which is right there. That's the God of War collector's edition. Pretty excited about. But I digress. I think there's a whole FAQ on Ubisoft's website about what's going on with Sands of Time. But for now, they're just pre-orders. A little weird to me. McDonald's is getting in on the gaming chair industry, or at least they were just making a gaffe on social media this week, where they've got the McCrispy gaming chair. It's got the kind of signature kind of dark yellow of McDonald's, and then it's just got Mickey D signs all over it. It's crispy on it, so pretty fun stuff. I would kill for a McDonald's sponsorship, because I am one of the few people probably who go to them a bit more regularly than I care to admit. But do love me some McDonald's, so McDonald's, hit me up. I'm available for sponsorship. And then last but not least, as we head into games that I'm excited for, we got to see some smaller games that I liked this week. This one actually I think I knew about last week, but is a co-op zombie action roguelike, which is a little bit word soupy, but Blight Survivors actually looks really cool. I want to see more of like the gameplay, more of the combat. But the trailer for Blight Survivors, Blight:(Survivors), will be linked down below. You can check it out for yourself, but it really kind of shows what you can do and how you're splitting up the party and how you're running around and fighting off all these zombies with swords and bows. And then there's also people that you have to fight. It kind of reminds me a little bit of like Last of Us, where it's more about fighting the people than it is about fighting the zombies, but the zombies are an ever-present threat. So look pretty cool. I really want to dig into more of what the gameplay is going to be like, or the combat, plus what's it like with friends? Are we like trying to sneak into a castle? Are we trying to like kill a cluster of zombies? What's that all going to be? But roguelike, zombie, co-op, I think you got me there. So looking forward. Not quite zombies, but post-apocalyptic was a game. There's a post-apocalyptic city builder where you are living in the kind of marshlands of a flooded world. I don't know if you're on Earth or not, but you're living on a flooded world. You have to kind of rebuild society out of this kind of like small floating islands, or these small islands. So the game's called Floodlands. I've already added it to my Steam wish list, and you should too. Yeah, it looks really exciting. I've had quite an itch for like a city builder, really compelling city builder. So if you have any suggestions, feel free to leave those down in the comments as well. But yeah, I'm excited for this kind of Floodlands. I think it actually comes out next week, so you don't have to wait too long. Add that to your Steam wish list, and any recommendations for really good city builders, feel free to leave them down below. And this time, especially last but not least, Netflix announced that they are making a Gears of War TV show and movie. The TV show is going to be animated, which kind of lends itself. I could see Gears of War kind of being pretty adult themed. That's what their words, not mine. Adult themed animated series. So it's going to show all the bloods and guts. You're going to get their chain guns or whatever revving through. Oh god, what were the enemies called in Gears of War? Are they the Blight? No, something like that. Purge or something. I don't remember. It was not the Flood. That's all I know. It's like whatever. I digress. But you're definitely going to see people getting sawed in half or chainsawed in half. So looking forward to that in the Netflix Gears of War show, and then the live action. It's going to be there's going to be a live action movie. So Gears of War. I agree that Gears of War has been made fun of for quite some time for their unrealistic size of characters. I think Phoenix is like freaking 6 feet tall and 5 feet wide. So I think it's gonna be fun to kind of see these characters more realistically proportioned. But you're still probably gonna get a bunch of meatheads and big old actors who are all ripped and buff, and then you're gonna put some armor on them. But I think it's kind of funny taking the Gears of War size and style characters and put them in the world. It's just gonna be kind of transition those. But yeah, I'm looking forward to the Gears of War. I always enjoyed playing Gears of War. I really liked crouch running with my friends through Gears of friends through War 1, 2, 3, where I kind of fell off, but picked up 5 as well. But I digress. Let me know if there's anything else that you forgot or that I forgot to talk about this week. And yeah, definitely looking forward to lots of indie games, God of War, and Overwatch characters. Yeah, let me know if I missed anything down below. Always, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this content. If you do, please follow, like, and subscribe to me on YouTube and Twitch so you can see more great content like this. I'll have links down below in the description. Thanks again. I hope you have a super day. I hope you have a super weekend. And I hope you have a super day. Bye.